Hi, I'm Bonnie Clay, clinician with the ABC Hospital, and I am so happy you have joined us today. I visited with a few of you and found out about your backgrounds. We have a lot of experience sitting in this room. You are so valuable to this hospital. They're very lucky to have you. By coming today, I sense you are ready to change and also improve your working environment, and we are going to help you do that today. We are going to have fun doing it. And I hope everyone has had a chance to get some food and talk to your coworkers. And I want everybody comfortable with each other. And we're going to do some crazy things later on. Okay, let's get started. Let's just review what nurse burnout is. Um, it's a major risk to the health of the United States. Nurses make up most of the healthcare workforce. And so it is vital to address the ways that we can eliminate this burnout. Now, here's an interesting statistic. Prior to the coronavirus pandemic, nurse burnout rates averaged about 30 to 50%. Now, rates range from 40 to 70%. This has reached just a crisis level. Burnout not only affects you as a nurse, but it is negatively impacting our healthcare quality and safety. So, awareness is the first step towards identifying a solution. So, here are some things, some signs of burnout, and I want you to try to answer yes to any of these questions, okay? Have you become cynical or critical at work? Do you drag yourself to work and have trouble getting started? Have you become irritable or impatient with coworkers, patients, or family members? Do you lack the energy to be consistently productive? Do you find it hard to concentrate? And do you lack satisfaction from your achievements? Do you feel disillusioned about your job? Are you using food, drugs, or alcohol to feel better or simply not feel? Have your sleep habits changed? Are you troubled by unexplained headaches, stomach or bowel problems, or other physical complaints? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you might be experiencing job burnout. And I'm seeing a lot of heads nodding here. Well, now I'd like your feedback. Here's a chance for you to speak up, and let's make a list of what you think are possible causes. What's going on in your department that causes you stress? Go ahead and just yell it out, and I'm going to write it up here on the board, okay? All right, staffing shortages, more work. There's less people, more work, especially during the pandemic. Would totally agree with that. Nurse to patient ratios are high. Yes, we have more patients to take care of and less time to do it in and less quality. And it's frustrating to those of us who want to do a good job. Management doesn't care. Exactly. They do care maybe, but you don't feel it. You don't see that they understand what you're going through. Long and frequent shifts. Yes, they are long, and you're being asked to do more. Work-life imbalances. Yes, it's hard to go home and spend quality time with family or friends because you are so exhausted all the time. Dysfunctional workplace. Ugh, it's been so hectic during COVID, and wouldn't it just be nice if you opened up a cupboard and it was stocked? Even a simple thing like that. And physical and emotional demands, right? We're seeing more people dying and taking care of more dying people than we ever have before. Well, hey, thank you for sharing your insights. I saw a lot of you agreeing and feeling the same way, the same frustrations. So if we do not do something about this, what are the consequences? If we ignore it or we don't address these issues that we've just talked about, what is going to happen? So here's a list that was provided by the CDC, and I want you to quickly look them over and see if anything pops out to you. What are you currently experiencing? Just look it over. Now I'd like you to turn to your neighbor sitting next to you, and I'd like you to share what you see as a consequence, or what you're experiencing as a consequence right now. Let's just take 1 minute to do that. Okay, I'll direct your attention back up here. I see a lot of sharing, which is good. I could tell that you all were relating to each other and having a little fun doing it. So we need to establish support systems to help us through difficult times, and I'm glad that you were talking to your coworkers about some of these consequences. Okay, well, we know what nurse burnout is, we know what the causes are, we know some of the consequences if we don't take care of the stressors. So this next little exercise is a way to get rid of some of the stress and enhance your self-care. Some of the things you can do are go to your supervisor and talk over options, seek support. We just talked about that. Get exercise and get some sleep. But the one we're going to talk about today is mindfulness. Mindfulness is the act of focusing on your breath flow and being intensely aware of what you're sensing and feeling at every moment. And now comes the fun part. I actually want you to participate when you're asked to do so. We want you to learn this skill. All right, so let's play this video and follow along with her.
The first exercise in our relaxation toolkit involves something we've all experienced at some point or have been very close to experiencing: shortness of breath during times of stress. When we're anxious or stressed, our breathing becomes very shallow. The breath we take isn't fully drawn into the lungs, and there's more contained in our chest. This brings us to our very first exercise of stress reduction: deep breathing. It's also known as abdominal breathing, belly breathing, or diaphragmatic breathing. This technique consists of breathing through the belly and not the chest in a slower and deeper fashion. There are many physical benefits to this simple technique. Deep breathing lowers your heart rate, your blood pressure, increases your energy levels, and decreases your muscle tension and pain. Not to mention the mental health benefits, including decreased anxiety and stress, as well as improved sleep and a more focused mind. Let's practice. Sit or lie down in a comfortable position. Begin by taking a deep breath in and a long, relaxing breath out. The idea here is to achieve a slow and steady breath. Go ahead and place one hand on your chest and your other on your abdomen, if this feels comfortable for you. Now try and keep your chest rather still and have your abdomen expand and contract as you deeply breathe. Some people find it helpful to count while they take their deep breaths. For example, you may count like this: in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4. This counting can help you with consistency. Try to practice this regularly a few times throughout the day for a few minutes. It will relax you physically and mentally during times of stress.
Great. What did you think? Is that something that you can use? Um, remember, we need to keep practicing it over and over before it gets really beneficial. But I want you to try that this next week coming up, okay? All right. Well, thank you so much for everything. We have oh, we have had a fun time. We've learned a lot. We've established some good friendships, and we're going to expand on these techniques again next week. Um, don't forget to use the Hear Me hotline, and remember, we are in this together.